Major, we are in the elimination match in Group A. Newbee lead Fnatic by 1-0. If Newbee win, they continue into the final match of Group A to play Virtus Pro for a place in the upper bracket of the main event. No teams go home, remember, but there are very big implications if you are losing at this stage of the tournament. Fnatic would drop down to be ranked 13 to 16 in the lower bracket best of one Killer Doom deathmatch games.
Make it a bit more ominous.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Man, is it really?
Well pointed out.
I'm gonna say my.
I haven't felt spooky until now, but now I feel it.
You guys are creeping me. The Novotel.
Yeah.
The new.
Fnatic's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining.
You don't have to say a whole lot else to blame them. Like, my door doesn't close very well.
Hey,
Turn to pick.
It's gonna visit you in the middle of the night on Friday the 13th.
Who would do it for
No
that?
chance.
Fnatic's turn to pick.
Because that's the first one out of the blocks.
I mean, so I feel like Fnatic almost have to change it up here and either take like the Wyvern or the Spirit Breaker, like something away from Newbee's opening.
I think Wyvern has either been picked or banned 100% so far.
That combo has been really effective so far this tournament. The other thing I want to point out here, Newbee banned Shadow Fiend first stage when they're dire. We did not see that from Fnatic, and the Shadow Fiend had like a ridiculous game.
He did very well versus a Tiny Wisp. Usually you see a situation where they can just get completely ahead, kill the Shadow Fiend once, twice, 4 times, but it never happened. It looked like the Shadow Fiend was zoning the Wisp and the Tiny both. It was crazy.
Tusk is first pick with a Wind Ranger this time. Okay.
So
leaves them
That's not something we haven't seen before either. So we know
I
how
still
that
like
works.
this so much better than the way they've been opening their drafts. Like, they do leave some of the partners for the Darkseer available, but they have a strong opening. They have a playmaking here on the Tusk. They have a fairly independent mid that can get a lot done without too much help. You don't have Slardar, which is kind of unfortunate, but I think this is way better from Fnatic.
This also comes into question for me what the role swap is going to be. Are they going to put Chrissy on the Tusk? You know, Big Bushi, you know, Wind Ranger or something?
I think generally if they don't pick the Io, Chrissy does tend to play the off lane, although it was Ohio on the Slardar earlier, so it's not always the case.
Yeah, and like just before the majors, he was playing the mid most oftentimes.
They've really been.
A lot has happened for Fnatic in the last couple months.
Okay, so no Wyvern, no Spirit Breaker. They get a safe later that can potentially actually kill the Tusk if he's got the setup here. So very strong start. I think you pretty much have to ban the Wyvern now if you're Fnatic.
I bet they were debating very heavily between the Gyrocopter and the Winter Wyvern, because the Winter Wyvern I think is a pretty decent counter to both the Tusk and the Wind Ranger. Good hold. I think the Cold Embrace is pretty decent, obviously, versus Focus Fire, and great synergy with the Darkseer, but so too is the Gyrocopter in that regard. And that is most likely now going to be a ban from Fnatic.
Yeah, if it doesn't though, they would definitely go for it because I mean, if you use Focus Fire on somebody and then you're forced to disengage and start focusing on somebody else, and you don't have Focus Fire, Wind Ranger is the worst carry in the world. If you don't have Focus Fire, her attack speed is so slow because you're all invested on that one focus a guy down thing. So
and you're usually committed into the fight as well at that point.
Yeah, completely committed. Dazzle ban as well out of Newbee.
I feel like that hero's not been getting quite as much love as I thought he would.
No, I think we've only seen Dazzle once so far.
I think that's the upsurge of AA though, more than Dazzle being
and also
worse.
Teams often prefer the Wyvern. Well, Fnatic prefer the Shadow Demon, which kind of baffles me.
Disruptor on the field.
I'm sorry, is that actually more valuable banning away the Night Stalker? I would actually even say that Fnatic could have used the Night Stalker. The Tusk Night Stalker is very popular in China. It's somewhat popular in Europe. I think they're just, like, in general, good playmaking heroes that you can rotate around based on, you know, what the playstyle is going to be for the game. But now there's a potential Winter Wyvern for Newbee.
They're really afraid of like the face rush here, like the double ion shell, push the wave, dive your tower with charge, or that first nighttime where you just like run at people. I guess Fnatic evaluate that last game and say that was like the biggest issue, more so than the potential Darkseer combos.
And they do pick Disruptor a lot as well. I think it's usually Ohio that plays it, if I remember correctly.
One of the better supports to kill a Darkseer once you get like to level 3 to 5 potentially, but they need a safe laner with a lot of damage if they want to actually be able to kill him.
Or magic.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, like a
there's lot of
gyrocopter would be great.
or they could pick like a support A, something like that. They'd be a little weak on lockdown, but stuff like that is always possible.
So where do you guys think Newbee goes from here? We've mentioned Wyvern. They're really taking their time with this pick. Anything else that jumps out at you that they might be considering?
Their draft can literally go anywhere. They need supports, obviously. There's not too many supports, man. Though. I mean, do you take the Wyvern to protect against the Focus Fire?
You know, I think Fnatic might want Anti-Mage actually, if they can get their hands on him. That's definitely one of Black's comfort heroes. You now see a support that doesn't have lockdown. You're up against the Darkseer. They've got pretty good control and deep push already from their supports and offlaner. I don't know if they pick it, but I think if they don't pick it now, there's a good chance Newbee bans it.
Yeah, I completely agree. I was going to say they should fourth pick it, because otherwise it'll get banned away by Newbee.
If they think it's the pick here.
Yeah.
Which hero are you talking about?
Anti-Mage.
Anti-Mage.
They have
it's
like
not
no
bad.
control for an AM right now. They do have a pretty good early game fighting lineup, but
10
Fnatic
seconds
also has good deep push.
Yeah, they could definitely pressure him. Get a reliable disable on Newbie's side, and you could aggressive tri-lane pretty easy.
Yeah, who are like the good, if you want to do like, I guess Undying's still available if you want to just run at him early. That's probably one thing Fnatic's a little worried about.
Even just the Rubik combination with Ancient Apparition is quite strong when you're running 3 ranged heroes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Just a really solid disable that...
And then they could even run like Darkseer safe lane and go full aggro tri-lane if they wanted
Yeah,
to.
I feel like Fnatic doesn't really have a support that they can grab that'll make their tri-lane extremely good, except for maybe Undying, because Disruptor is, he's got weak damage, he puts some points into Glimpse. Maybe Static Field can be really useful, but their tri-lane definitely could be threatened a lot more so than Newbies right now. With that AA pick, it's so good in tri-lanes.
Oh, this is going to be the Bane here
Okay.
for Fnatic, so they hide the carry.
to pick.
I mean, I'm just happy to see the Bane over the Shadow Demon. I personally am not a big fan of the Shadow Demon. Most teams are looking towards, if they want a good defensive controlling hero, it's Bane, Bane, Bane. If you want a good saving hero, it's going to be Dazzle. Shadow Demon
maybe
by far
Wyvern.
is like
I
the
don't-
least pick of the defensive
I don't think you're
heroes.
going to get much resistance from these guys because they were bashing on Shadow Demon earlier as
I
well.
love Shadow Demon, it's just, he's very situational, and in a lot of cases Bane does the same thing. 1 second of invulnerability is almost as good as 2.5 if that's all you're getting him for.
They've got really good kill potential in Darkseer in the lane between Glimpse and the sleep setup potentially to interrupt the surge. Newbee are going to go into DK though, so this is looking like a very 5-man oriented lineup.
This is a VP draft right here.
Yeah.
And Newbie lost them to the mid Dragon Knight. Not that they haven't been picking Dragon Knight
That's
often,
almost
but
identical, isn't it, to the VP draft?
very similar, yeah. Maybe
the gyro
Gyrocopter,
yeah.
maybe
The
different hero.
Darkseer DK duo is really strong because you basically have a free blink dagger. You just surge him in, goes in dragon form.
Or even
Very
just
good
the
lockdown.
Iron Shelf. Like, he's actually really threatening even without his ultimate, because you just stun people, stand there, and boom, you get an extra nuke basically for free.
I
And yeah,
still feel
Surge
like
is good.
Fnatic is really looking at the anti-mage here. They
You
are
think
up against
it's
early
Dragon Knight?
pressure. Yeah,
It's so bad
have-
against Dragon Knight, though.
yeah. Well, in terms of like the direct fights, but there's no catch right now for him. They're taking their time here.
But Dragon Knight with a blink can definitely stun him.
So what else does Black run? He runs Juggernaut on occasion. Yeah, they're just gonna ban it. I think that's the play, mainly because Fnatic haven't really shown they can win with other heroes
Okay.
lately. So just force them out of like their kind of comfort zone.
The Black Invoker. It's
I
not
missed that.
It's
Man.
not
He
a
used to
bad
own.
EMP game, actually.
He
Mana Drain
played
Dragon
more
Knight.
of the Sunstrike Invoker, I guess.
Yeah,
but
he does.
Do you think that's still viable now?
You could do it with Bane. You could do it with Tusk and Wind Ranger. It's possible. Might be a good way to get some burst damage and to kill Dragon Knight in the early game. They just don't have the best disables is the main thing. I don't know, Cold Snap's pretty good with like Wind Ranger and Bane. It's unlikely, I think, but I think they're more likely to go for a hard carry than they are to go for something pretty all in like a
I mean, we've
Invoker.
seen Black on some crazy stuff, like Ursa is a hero that he played. I don't think it's an Ursa game. I think Jug's okay here.
Jug's pretty good.
Oftentimes when I feel like Animage is banned away, the Phantom Lancer is a decent replacement to have the same kind of ideas that Animage brings to the table, but I don't think it's really the hero here. I think there's too
Yeah.
much sustain from Newbee.
Have you
that
seen his
there's
win rate
enough-
at 6.85?
And
It's
Dragon
like
Knight and Gyro
30%.
are both pretty good against PL as well. Especially late game.
But they know they're up against like a really scary 5-man. So if Fnatic want to take that head on, they need like, I mean, what's even available that can fight early? Heard.
Hey,
Hello.
Thank you.
what a good call that was. What a good call.
I don't know if it's gonna work, but
I mean,
I'm
if
excited.
Still a good call though.
they can eat through the Dragon Knight with the pure damage. That'll help a lot. Cold Snap is good. They could also go EMP Tornado, drain mana of AA of Dragon Knight, and all of a sudden Dragon Knight's running around. You can't kill him, but who cares?
It's also a really good setup for the Disruptor and potentially Shackle Shot as well.
Yeah.
Assuming he goes Crosswex.
Yeah. Shackle Sunstrike with a Focus Fire, even without the Ags, you could definitely kill a lot of heroes with that, I feel.
Oh, so you
Especially
think it's going to be
supports.
Quas Exhort more likely than Crosswex?
Yeah, the EMP, or I'm sorry, Forge Spirit, Sunstrike, Cold Snap, all that good stuff.
I'm not usually a big fan of the Exort Invoker, but I think this is one of the few games you may kind of consider and just kind of run like, okay, we're going to have the Sleep into Sunstrike, we're going to have Tusk into Sunstrike, you know, potential Wind Ranger set up with Shackle Shot as well, and just try and like get early pickoffs off of these heroes picking up level 6 and just try and go ham as much as possible and pickoffs before Newbee go for their 5-man team fight. But Crosswex is much better when it comes to, I think, the 5-man group up.
All right, Earth Shaker is our final pick in from Newbee, and Newbee and Fnatic are all set. Are they on the verge of going through and continuing in Group A? Let's find out once more as we rejoin our commentary team.
Thank you very much, Paul. I'm interested to see the answer to that question as well, Blitz, as Newbee and Fnatic going head-to-head. The Black Invoker makes an appearance, and I don't know about you, but I feel a lot more comfortable looking at the heroes Fnatic have got in this game.
Yeah, I kind of do, but at the same time, I feel like this is a really classic Newbee draft going all the way back to TI, where it really felt like they were one of the teams that were running this gyrocopter a lot sooner than a lot of teams. You've got a Dragon Knight for Moo. This is probably not as signature of a hero for him. Like, when I think of Dragon Knight, I think of a player like Super first, but he's a close second. And you've got a lot of crowd control, a lot of stuns, tons of team fight on the side of Newbee. It just feels like a little bit more balanced of a draft.
Yeah, I agree. Newbee definitely pulling out the classics. For me, the primary reason why I'm happy is the fact that Fnatic have managed to find a comfort zone while having the ability to punish Newbee if they do get out of positions. They go back to the old, we run classic setup into follow-up. It wasn't as bad in game 1 as it was in their game up against EG. There were definitely a lot more problems
this
in
is so
that
sick.
game. And
Can I really don't want to cut you off, but
do it, man.
So the Ancient Apparition TPs, he places the first ward over. The Tusk tries to rotate around because Ohio senses it, and he game senses that there's going to be a hero there. So he tries to go all the way around, but it still gets spotted. And as a support, it's those little things that do make a difference, because now Banana's going to come up here. He's going to deward this for his team. That's some extra gold on the side of How, and it makes a difference because now you've got 2 active heroes that can support, sit up here and support and pull, and you get more out of the offlane now. Oh, that's just... I like plays like that. I'm sorry, it's so minor, but it means like a lot.
It means everything when you're playing this Newbee lineup. As you said, like it's classic. You're able to get levels on an Ancient Apparition when he's able to pull like this, which means you're not waiting for this long delayed level 6. And yeah, it's not up to Net as well as Ohio to dictate the course of this off lane anymore. They kind of needed that, because Invoker's meant, like, you will be looking at Black going for this Exort build coming up. First, he'll look to try and get... Actually, he's going for the Quas at the very, very start, because he's running mid.
I think you go Crosswex against this lineup, because I think Purge actually had it on the money, is that when you're playing against a lineup that features heroes that have such prominent abilities like the Dragon Knight, but don't have the mana pool to back it up.
Yeah.
For example, like the Darkseer's mana pool is pretty poor. The Earthshaker, before he gets Arcane Boots, the Dragon Knight, they're in similar situations too. So what this is going to do is actually force Newbee to get Arcane Boots a lot sooner than they would like. And the laning phase just gets a little bit easier for Black now too.
At the same time, though, I've been watching a lot of Invokers really manipulating Alacrity. So I'm wondering if Black is going to prioritize his leveling into that as well. Like, give it a little bit more of a balanced build at the start. Where, of course, just lets him survive against the early breed fire of Moo. No, to the fact that both Net as well as Black tried to do this little bit of a aggressive move against Moo, and they missed both, like, the first CS inside the lane just to do so. Another little small thing, but they need everything they can get out of this mid lane. Because now the bottles arrive for Dragon Knight, and he's just going to use Breed Fire to farm up. I know Ohio's getting zoned out at the top. And the Ancient Apparition, he hasn't even leveled anything up yet. He hasn't even gone for Chilling Touch to inflict that damage into the Tusker.
I think this is really important that you take a hero like the Gyrocopter because the Ancient Apparition alone is going to struggle to zone out a hero like the Tusk. And you want Banana to be able to rotate in between the lanes, but at top, they're going to try to get aggressive. And
Ohio, he's going to snowball up, but the cold feet still latch, and Newbee, this is the start they wanted.
he's got
Ohio,
boots, he's fine.
He does have boost, so he's going to outrun Banana. But now the Clary's going to trigger. That Fissure's off cooldown in 2 seconds time, and the mana's kicking up. So Ohio's not out of the woods just yet. In fact,
he's
going
space
deeper
trading right now.
into the woods, and Banana as well as Chispike are chasing him to the ends of the earth. He's got enough life to survive the fissure. But he's also coming in behind the tower. Net was making his way up to see where Chispike as well as Moo were moving. And Ohio, the fissure's too far away, and he's even going to grab the creep wave.
Yeah, he even forced Moo to rotate over briefly. This is going to help out Black a little bit, and huge plays by Ohio.
Bottom lane. There's a glimpse available, and yeah, they're going to drag that Darkseer all the way back up again, and this is great for DJ. This will allow him, if he doesn't miss the power shot, but he'll still get it, to get the first blood down the bottom lane. And that Wind Ranger moved over to try and catch up to the Tusker, who ended up just denying himself up to the Ancients.
And I think that was the right idea, to give DJ this role and allow Mushi to play one of those game-impacting supports. You saw how successful they were right off the bat. The Disruptor is so good against the Darkseer in the laning phase. And he's got to play a little bit further back. Be careful, because you're not really going to get too much help from either of your supports, because Ohio's actually done such a good job of keeping them under-leveled at this top lane. They're both still only level 1 right now.
Interested to see what Black as well as Net want to do with this mid. You've gone for the Cold Snap points up here for the Invoker, 2 points up in the Quas. Do they really have enough damage to kill off Moo, or is it just the we posture to push Moo off the lane so he doesn't feel confident enough to move forward to even farm with Breathe Fire?
I think the important thing is to be able to zone him out, to make it hard for him to simply just get lane control, because what ends up happening then is that Black can, whenever Moo tries to step forward, and what you want to do with the DK Toby is try to take the tower as early as possible. But Black is just going to get as much lane control as possible, slow down Moo's farm progression, and make it so that when he does leave the lane, he's not really going to give up too much.
They may even attack into him soon, because you've got the EMP leveled up now for Black. So he's prepared for that. With the Nightmare setup, you can do a lot. Ohio. Oh, okay. There's a gap, but he'll just snowball over the rock wall and get out of the cold feet with the shards to give him a wall just to back out.
That looked like that was going to be a kill, but unfortunately it's not. Black is going to make his way up here, but neither of these targets are very juicy for him.
They're actually holding on to the runes. They'll... Ohio doesn't have his bottle yet, so there's no point giving it to him, and Black's not taking bottles. In fact, Black's actually going to give him a shared tango. He's got a lot of life behind him, and a lot of money too. Ends up building into phase boots, so Black getting a lot of earlier damage out from this Invoker, as well as some movement speed to chase after that Dragon Knight.
Yeah, something we should talk about is that even though the Darkseer died one time at the bottom, look how many levels he's been able to get. And on the flip side of things, Ohio, he was able to space create for so long, and it looked like he was more successful overall, but you sacrifice a death to push out the lane a little bit more in your favor, and the Darkseer is going to benefit from it even more. Like, now that he has the Soul Ring, it's going to be impossible to just entirely zone him out of the lane.
What the Darkseer gets, though, it's kind of balanced out by what the supports have not gotten. Like, you're looking at an Ancient Apparition. We said, you know what, you de-ward out the camps that you can do your pulls, but you're 5 minutes in and you've got a level 2.5 Ancient Apparition. Your Earthshaker is half a level in. And currently sitting underneath an Observer Ward. So Banana, the Snowball, they pick him up, they'll beat him down, the Fissure will catch out too, but they've still got Brain Snap as well as actually not enough mana for shards. The shards only just come up, and now you'll realize the Darkseer is also waiting around. The Rock Wall will drop, and Black, well, he's still got this EMP, so he can screw around a little bit here with Newbee. In fact, yeah, they don't want to be in here. The Cold Snap's keeping Moo out. He's got no mana left. Net having to Nightmare up the Darkseer so he can run himself away. Does he feel the, yeah, he feels the confidence to walk away. No need to deny himself up at the moment. But Newbee, the first big rotation of heroes over, and now DJ has pressure towards the bottom lane. Darkseer has to TP himself down, and Newbee aren't really getting enough from this.
Yeah, this dual lane has worked out really well for Fnatic right now, because the Dragon Knight just doesn't have enough to contest that. You saw that he slowly inched his way forward, but he doesn't even have boots. Got EMP'd before he could provide anything to that gank, and a level 1 Earthshaker and a level 2 Ancient Apparition, these are very non-threatening heroes. Like, you're not scared at all. What this is really going to come down to is how they utilize How. If they're able to get him going off the bat, if he can contest the safe lane carry, then maybe they can do something. But they definitely anticipated their supports being more leveled than this right now.
They're coming again. It's a 6-minute mark, so Moo, he doesn't see Ohio rotating up, and in fact, Banana's going to get scouted out. This is a double damage Tusker. With the shards lock it, again, Banana's able to get himself a 2-man Fissure. The brain sap won't be enough. Circle the trees, not going to deny himself. In fact, he runs up instead, and the call down. How's moving over. Ohio's going to pop. There was no way to escape from this one. Net's in trouble as well. The Nightmare will be on the Ancient Apparition, but Net, the Rocket Barrage from Howl will go to work. And Banana survives on a B-stick of life and gives Newbee their first 2 kills of this game.
And that's what I'm talking about. It has to come from Howl right now because that's the majority of your damage. The Dragon Knight's not going to be able to do anything for you, and a semi-rotation for him into his own jungle leads to quite great successes. Okay, I lied. The Earthshaker's still level 1, so he got no experience from that. But it means a lot for the momentum. If you look at the net worth difference, it does lead in Newbee's favor now, because of how close the last hits and denies are.
It's also good because it kept Ohio down. So Ohio doesn't get towards that Walrus Punch nice and early on.
Yeah, he's level 4 right now. He's really been struggling compared to Tule, who's already up to level 6. He's going to lose his tower, but this is going to mean it's going to be a little bit safer for him in this bottom lane.
Unless Fnatic can drag that way back again. And in fact, now DJ is leaving the lane. He's going all the way back to Fountain. And this will allow Mushi to reach his level 6. So maybe then we start asking the question, with the level 3 glimpse up and running, when you have that ulti up as well from the Disruptor, is there actually a safe area for Tule to be on this bot lane?
I think you just have to focus on the jungle, and that's okay too. I anticipate at some point they want to give Moo some farm, but giving him stacks at this point feels a little bit of a waste, because he's so far behind right now when it comes to where he should be in CS, at a paltry 26 right now. But as long as he gets levels, that's all that's really required of the DK right now. Like, they're not anticipating him getting an overwhelming amount of farm.
Net's moving forward with 2 of himself. And Moo just doesn't see anything he can do in this lane. He backs up from Black. Note to the fact that Black is going in for this Urn build on the Invoker. Because I was wondering if you'd see the Standard Midas build coming in from the Invoker.
I think the HP removal is really good against heroes like the Dragon Knight. And it's less all-in than going for something like the Orchid off the bat. I'm a pretty big fan of it, I think, in this game. It gives you the HP that you need to survive, some basic mana regen, and the HP removal is good against all the heroes on the side of Newbee.
It's a hard life for Banana. He was sitting back at his tier 1 tower, completely out of vision of Fnatic, and DJ just throws 1 power shot into the wave and takes off like a third of Banana's life. EMP Tornado now in the middle lane, going up Moo with a Cold Snap. They can keep him there a little bit longer. A 2-point up in Brain Snap. It's not enough damage to kill off the DK, but they force a rotation out from Howl.
I think if it was any other hero, they would have gone for that. They had the Glimpse and the ultimate available on the Disruptor, but with Howl rotating in, and it has to be Howl every single time. Just
they get trying to punish Howl. Like, he rotated down, but Mushi as well as Net, they instantly smoke up, and they're headed north. So they probably understand that Howl wants to try and make something out of nothing. In fact, he blows the call down, expecting Ohio to walk out. Now you start with a snowball. Mushi comes in, throws out the ulti, and Howl's locked in here. You might actually bring down the Tusker, but Howl will lose his life for this. Black arriving, the Tornado, picking up the Ancient Apparition. In fact, actually gets pulled back at the same time through the Glimpse. So both Disruptor as well as the Invoker getting kills, and as well as space now being created on the bottom lane. DJ, the TP's coming in, and he needs to get out of here. Lose the mana TP and mods up the creep wave. But Windranger with both Phase Boots as well as Windrun, Moo cannot catch him.
Yeah, there's no real way to punish this, and this is so disappointing right now for Moo. You know, he desperately wants to be able to get that kill, but the follow-up just isn't there. It's a level 3 Earthshaker at top. Black has got 3 Urn charges, and the best part about this Urn too, Toby, is it makes up for the lack of damage that you see in this Invoker build, but it doesn't even seem to matter, and how is he even going to get glimpsed back?
You can't TB onto those tier 1 towers while the Disruptor's on the front lines. I look towards the middle lane now as DJ's lining up for a double shackle if he can get it. He won't be able to get it, however, with that double damage and focus fire, he really wants to do something, but he can't get it. The Cold Feet is forcing him to run away. Ohio can't offer enough control, and DJ, still no win run, has to trigger his 1-shot. There's one more attack. Moo just can't reach him. And there goes your win run. DJ down to 13 life, but he is back into the safety of his jungle.
This is so disappointing right now for Newbee. You rotated in so many different heroes. You're not even able to get a kill off of that. And Black is continuing to get dominance around the map. The net worth at one point, Newbee was up 300-400 and things started to look good for them, but Fnatic have swung it back the other way.
They're going mid. Moo, glimpse, there's your ulti off,
He
and
is
goodbye,
so dead.
Dragon Knight. Black even rotated back for this. He keeps getting more and more earn charges as well as kills. That's a 3-for-0 Black Invoker. This is just comfort zone. Such comfort for Fnatic. Punish Newbee, you know you got your advantage, you just keep going. Your Walrus punches up for Ohio, you got your control from him. And every time Mushi's ulti comes off cooldown, they're instantly looking for a fight. Now you got a Fiend's Grip to deal with if you're Newbee. And what's Fnatic going to do? Like, he doesn't even have his Soul Ring. He's a level 3 Earthshaker 12 minutes into the game. This Earthshaker can't help out. The Ancient Apparition still hasn't
Are you
cracked
really
level
going
6.
for this banana? I think he's just going to get glimpsed in.
It's, well, the cooldown's pretty damn good. Hao makes a run, and Net will end up dropping from this. The Nightmare will control, but the EMP Tornado gonna do more. Hao is completely bone dry, but he's got 12 1 charges up his sleeve. So you get the kill on the Bane, and you're able to deny up your tier 1 tower.
That is the best possible result for Newbee right now.
They may have a... okay, Chissbug. He's gonna hit level 6, but Black's coming up for the kill. Chissbug retreating at exactly the right time.
Yeah, he knows that staying for that extra creep just simply isn't worth it. But Fnatic, they read the situation incorrectly there, as Hao is willing to rotate in from behind. Perfect positioning by him.
And Hao's still having a pretty damn good time. He's not on the top of the net worth, but he's only 400 behind that of the Invoker as well as the Wind Ranger. Ancient Apparition's not doing too bad. You're level 6 now, so you can bring something to the fights without having to be in the fight. And he's going in for the Hand of Midas. So just the power leveling if Newbee can buy some space, but DJ, well, the fortification will slow him down a little bit here. And Newbee is rotating again. Cooldown's back off cooldown. They just can't get hit by this EMP Tornado. Because the supports can't afford it. They can't afford Arcane Boots. You got Phase Boots up and running, as well as a very expensive mech for a Darkseer. So if the EMP hits, Newbee are out. Like, they just have to bail.
That's a 5-man rotation too by Newbee simply to deny the tower, and they don't have any ward vision really deep into the jungle, but I think they know that Hao is up there. And
Fnatic
they're
are coming.
circling around. It looks like they do want to try to get the kill on Moo, but
Look at the line they draw as well. They want to go all the way down the bottom rune and then come up behind.
I don't know if that's...
Plans have been changed.
Yeah, I don't know if that's 100% the best way to do it, but
they
they're going to run into Moo.
Net, Fiend's Grip. No, actually, Moo gets the Dragon Form up as well as the stun. And with his ulti on the way in, Mushi at least he gets chilled up. The Ice Blast connects on Black, but the MP Tornado, DK's running his Dragon Form, so he's fine with this, but it's back in the middle lane with a Shackle and Focus Fire. How will end up dropping? It's a 2-for-1 trade-off. Black just way too strong
Oh, that's
for Moo to
both
deal with
cores.
himself.
That's going to set them so far behind Toby. They lose both of their cores there. And the Gyrocopter is even more important than the Dragon Knight at this point. And you haven't been able to get aggressive with the Dragon Knight whatsoever in this game. And this is a hero that thrives on that. The ability to take down those towers, pressure the enemy team, get in there with his stun. But this Invoker has just been the thorn in his side. Constant nuisance, EMP tornadoing him at every turn. Unable to really set up the tempo of the game that he wants.
It's going to get worse when Black starts hunting. Like, he's building into this orchid, so you're probably assuming the Black's going to be leveling up Ghost Walk pretty shortly, and then moving across the map. Then Ancient Apparition, who is going for this Hand of Midas, becomes a little bit more food. Like, you could run around inside your own jungle, and maybe that's when I start looking a little bit closer towards Mushi, as well as a couple, like, maybe as well as Net, to see where they put these Observer Wards up, to get the vision allowing Black to get efficient hunting going on.
You've got no Arcane Boots coming on the side of Newbee, and this is a fairly significant thing to note just because of the fact that that EMP Tornado is doing so much to them right now. Like, they're just not able to take team fights once that connects on anybody. Especially their Dragon Knight, who stands at just 429 mana, needs quite a bit to be able to use that Elder Dragon form into Breathe Fire, into Stun combination, much less use it more than once.
That was the survivability I was talking about coming from Tule. Like, in fact, you have that mech from Darkseer, which will probably never trigger during a fight if he gets caught. Like, how you meant to have a combo as well as that mech if you get hit by the EMP.
Exactly. That Soul Ring is going to be taxed to the max.
Yeah.
Black's making his way up.
If the Soul Ring's not enough. Like, if he gets drained out completely, you're not going to get enough mana for it. You almost need to have one charges as well on the Darkseer.
They're 5-manning into the jungle right now. We saw Fnatic attempt to do this in the previous game. Try to get aggressive in the jungle. Unfortunately for them, though, they're completely under the vision of this ward. And this is something that we haven't quite talked about, but we should, is the vision game right now for Fnatic. Reading the situation right. And they're not even invading into the enemy jungle, so these wards that Newbee have, they give them some info, but not enough.
That one observer ward too that Newbee do have is right underneath the sentry ward. So if one hero from Fnatic walks down the river, and in fact, yeah, I think they just saw it as well. Yep, they're going to get rid of the sentry. I mean, the observer. They're looking to fight bottom lane. Mushi's the first one to TP in, and now he realizes, okay, Mu, get away from me. He was the hero that was searched forward. And they're going to keep going. Like, if they kill off Mushi, what are you getting in return for this? The tier 2 tower is taking a fair chunk of damage. You burn through your fortification as well. This doesn't come back with the tier 2 towers dropping. So Newbee need to find a little bit more. The cooldown available for, actually not available for Hao. So yeah, it ends up just being a tier 2 for the life of Mushi. Acceptable casualty.
Just a free tower that they walk in and get. Obviously, you don't want to lose the tower and the disruptor if you can help it, but grabbing a tier 2 and getting a little bit more map control is perfectly okay, because your next objective is Roshan anyways. So getting a little bit of map presence around the map, taking down the tier 2 is going to help. And with this Aghanim Scepter completed on DJ, it's going to help them take down the Dragon Knight even quicker, and they're going to make their way up. They're going to spot him too. Who's going to go for the TP, but the Shackle should connect.
Oh, the Fiend Script can do the work anyway. The Focus Fire, Ice Blast on the way. Mu, however, they waited out for the Shackle, and Mu with the Bond Charges actually stays alive. The mech helping him out too, but the damage is too much. Now Mushi throwing down the Storm. Wants to... Okay, well, that's a long drag back, but Banana not going to find his advantage there. In fact, Hao now orchid it up. He can't really fall for another Rocket Barrage just yet, but he's still got the physical damage to get through Mushi. Now he wants to have a crack over a Black, but the support's rotating back over. DJ as well as Net, they're coming back to the fight, and with Ohio on the front lines, Newbee wisely pulling out.
Yeah, they understand. There's no reason to take that fight on the side of the map. Not when you've lost your Disruptor already. Fnatic can just kind of chill. Newbee definitely don't want to take that fight. With just the Gyrocopter, no way to initiate that fight. The Earthshaker was far back. He was just running away as fast as he could. So he does have level 6 now, but how much does it really matter when you have to get nearly in melee range just to get it off against the EMP Tornado?
I'd be more worried if I was DK. The fact that you've got 1k gold, that's wonderful, but it's not really into an item. Like, do you even go for your BKB? Do you finish up the drums? You know that's not going to be enough because this Wind Ranger already has an Aghanim Scepter plus another 1600 gold. So the damage output from Wind Ranger is starting to arrive. And I'm wondering too if this is going to be one of these Deso games. Because you're going up against a DK, like armor, obviously a big strength of his. Is that going to be the easy raw damage you can get from the Wind Ranger, or do you look for something else?
I think so. I think going for just raw damage like that is perfectly okay. Against this lineup, maybe at some point you want to be able to grab a BKB, but that time is definitely not now.
Well, the last time DJ played this Wind Ranger, even when he got like 3 hit down by TP's SF, he still ended up going for the Glass Cannon build. So I'd probably back DJ to go for his damage item.
Yeah, I completely agree. And the Invoker has completed the Orchid. They're going to go for the Roshan now too. And this is just objective gaming from Fnatic. You have the superior team fight. There's not a whole lot of ways that Newbee can initiate this fight safely either.
They are blind doing this though. But there's no observe wards on the hillside. There's sentry ward from the Dire. Make sure they can't put an observe ward up on the hill. But Newbee are rotating way too late anyway. They're on their way, but they're underneath the observe ward inside the lane. So Fnatic realize who's coming their way, but they get the Aegis Immortal, and if they need to, Black can throw a defensive Tornado if they feel pressured at all.
I think Newbee realize that Fnatic kind of know that they're up there, because nobody's defending anything right now. I think not even this bottom lane. It's only Chizbug, but this is definitely going to reveal the smoke to Fnatic right now. Like, they just appeared out of nowhere near the Roche pit. You didn't see them walk past this mid ward whatsoever.
Okay.
So I think it's safe to say that they knew what was going on the entire time.
Well, it's a beautiful time for Fnatic. A beautiful time for them. I still want to see where this Wind Ranger goes as far as item builds, but overall, like, the net worth isn't as high as you'd think it would be. Like, it's only 4,000 going the way of Fnatic. Same for the experience for a 20-minute game. But it's like they've hit the perfect timing for their items. The Blink Dagger now being over in Ohio, so they got that jump in initiation. The Bane's almost finished up his full Glimmer Cape. Disruptor did get the Arcane boost, and what else have we actually got? Actually, nothing else from Mushi. I suppose he has got a fair chunk of deaths behind him. But Black really messing around with that mid. Mu loses all of his mana.
How do you take a fight if you're a Dragon Knight at this phase? You've got a Bracer, you've got a Wand, You're trying your best, but
Is he going Blink Dagger instead? Like, is that what he's saving up for here? So is that being the jump in initiation instead of waiting for, like, trying to fight through it all?
I don't know if he can even close distance at this point, is the problem. Like, even if he gets a Blink Dagger, if he gets caught by anything, like the tail end of it, that's 2,200 gold that you use to kind of get closer to losing your mana.
True.
But
Maybe you can go the medium. Like, you can go for, like, the Shadow Blade instead.
you do have the Arcane Boots completed on Tule now.
Ohio, trouble for him. Ice Blast, and then Snowball Protection. A beautiful thing. BKB from Hal, but with the Blink Dagger from Ohio, the Snowball keeps him hidden long enough that he can just blink and TP himself away to safety. So that's a big BKB charge. That's Hal's 10-second BKB charge down the drain with your initiation onto a Tusker.
That was used for absolutely nothing right now. Like, Fnatic are going to be so happy, even if they're not super far ahead when it comes to net worth. It's just the map control and how scared Newbee are playing right now.
Bottom lane, Moo jumping over on Mushi. Black's on his way, and he realizes he can't fight against this. Also noticed too that Tule's got dust on him, so Black can't just walk around inside this invis rune and feel safe. But I am looking at DJ, very aggressive here in the mid. Banana's going to walk up behind him. And, well, okay, Echo Slam stun. There is a cooldown available, and DJ's just going to die. The Tornado EMP is going to arrive, and the Aegis Immortal has to be triggered at this point. But can Newbee kill him twice over? DJ, well, with the Ice Blast, you bet your Nelly. That Wind Ranger on the sideline for 50 seconds. Very aggressively moving just after the gank happened on bottom. Maybe he felt like he had a lot more space than what he really had.
Yeah, they probably didn't anticipate the initiation to come on the Wind Ranger of all heroes because of his Aegis. And the same thing is that Black wasn't showing himself on the map, so it's easy to think for Newbee that that might be a feint, but they just take the risk. They're like, well, if they're there, we probably lost anyways. Let's just go for the quick and easy pickoff. If he's completely alone, we'll slow down their momentum. And How is actually keeping up in net worth right now. And this is quite impressive considering how many times he's been ganked, how little map control he's been given overall in this game. And it just kind of speaks to his prowess as a carry, but the problem right now is that his mid laner is just getting completely out-farmed by Black.
It was Moo going for that blink. It is going to be the aggression from the DK, and well, out-farmed by Black. Where does Black go as well for his next item? Is it worth going for the extra disable? Does he even look to become more of a damage dealer?
Go for the Hex is what you mean?
Yeah, I was seeing like Scythe of Ice disable. Or do you think just going in for something more like an Aghanim Scepter?
Go for the Ags, man. It's a cool item to get. It's more fun to watch than the Hex.
Just for the coolness?
Yeah. You don't play... The thing is, it's like playing Captain Falcon in Smash. You don't do it because it's good, you do it because it's fun. Go for the Aghanim so you feel like the Avatar. Toby, you don't gotta laugh at my jokes, man. You're not capped. You don't gotta give me the pity laughs like I give him.
It's my like ability to see that every game of Dota can at least have one Smash reference in it somehow.
Oh, for sure, at bottom.
Yeah. Ohio's waiting. Oh, too late. He blinked into...
That is unfortunate timing.
Fnatic. The Ice Blast's on the way, but too late won't survive for this. Ohio will be hit hard, and Hal's waiting for Ohio to come into his waiting arms. But Ohio does not want to do this. He wants to keep running himself down the mid. And, well, there's your blink down from Moo. Black needs to give him space. EMP Tornado being wound up, but Tuskar's already down. In fact, Moo not even really getting hit by this. So Fnatic have to bail out. It's a 1-for-1 trader for the end of the day. But DJ, he started this 10, maybe 15 minutes to go onto the tier 2 tower. Blinks himself away, and now they're actually going to get the denial.
That's okay, though. The BKB charge was once again used by Hao in the mid lane. That's 8 seconds already. They're splitting up the map. They're getting more out of this map right now. Like, even if they lose a hero or two, what is Newbee really getting out of this? Like, they kill a hero. They're not pushing the mid tower. They're nowhere near the top tower.
Ooh, hello. I thought a Desolator would come up from somebody. I wasn't thinking it was going to be Black who purchased into it.
All right.
It really is. Like that gives him
speed.
It gives him some way to get through it. Yeah, with the Alacrity buff as well as having like, yeah, I'm down with it.
Hey, this hero does damage now. It's 200 a hit with the negative armor and the Orchid to back himself up. He's gonna get hit by the Ice Blast, but there's absolutely no follow-up. It's just a scouting expedition.
And there's still a level 1 Ice Blast. And Chessbug is at least finding a lot of space. So with this Hand of Midas, He's able to power level himself up a little bit more in the jungle, getting closer to that level 11, and more importantly, the Aghanims upgrade. Because Fnatic don't really have tanky heroes. Like, it's a Wind Ranger and an Invoker. You don't think these guys are going to be like, okay, I don't care if I get hit by an Ice Blast, my regeneration will save me. That's not these type of heroes.
Yeah. In all honesty, I actually think that Newbee are making huge strides right now. They're going to get this bottom pick off on Ohio, and they're just kind of getting these little mini engagements where you don't think it isn't leading to the towers exactly, but it is helping them close the net worth gap. And most importantly,
it's another one.
They can't afford to lose net now too. That is gonna slam it home.
Yeah.
Kill's a kill, Toby. Come on. Get with the program.
I'm not subscribing to this program, man. That's a wasted Echo Slam.
Yeah, but they're narrowing the gap. They're getting pickoffs around the map.
The only reason why I agree with it is because with that kill, the banana secured, he now has his Blink Dagger. So it actually makes it worthwhile to have used his Echo Slam.
They've almost got the BKB completed on Mu too. So this Invoker, who was incredibly good against him, is going to start to feel a little bit soft. And we're starting to see the problem that EG ran into in the first game against that Dragon Knight, is that they've got a lot of single target focus, but this DK, with the BKB and the amount of armor that he has, it's not going to be that strong.
That's why they need that Desolator to go to work. That's kind of why I was also wondering if you get like the Deso over on the Wind Ranger and get something more like the Assault Cuirass onto the Invoker. Make it so the Gyro's damage doesn't really have as much of an effect, as well as having that negative effect on the DK. But not to be the case. We're still waiting to see what Wind Ranger purchases. DJ went for the whole Blink initiation so he can at least find these quick kills or get out of positions like he was in on the bottom lane previously. Ohio's in fact waiting on this top lane.
They finally took a tower. It took them so long to be able to take that one. Remember at bottom when they caught Mushi, I believe, and they took that? That was nearly 10 minutes ago. But
2 towers in 28 minutes.
Yeah.
When you've lost every added tower apart from your tier 2 on top.
But take a look at the net worth graph. It has surprisingly evened up now.
It's that close when you're that many towers behind.
Yeah, it felt like the map control was completely on the side of Fnatic, but they just haven't been able to push that lead further. It almost feels like they're a little bit too passive, and they're just getting split up and picked off by the Dragon Knight with the Blink Dagger.
I'm going to ask you the same question that I asked of Cinderin when I was looking at Samael's Orchid Queen of Pain. When was the last time we really saw this Orchid have an effect? When was the last time Black actually got himself a kill just because of the Orchid?
No, it hasn't happened in quite some time. I think it's different with a hero like Queen of Pain, but with this Invoker,
DJ
they haven't really utilized it.
He need to shackle that range creep to get the control. Thought for a moment he's going to get that kill on bottom lane almost solo against Hal.
Not going to be able to do it, and they're going to go for the smoke on their own. They know that the Roshan is up. They want to try to get aggressive right now. Hao is going to try to meet them as fast as he can. He's got quite a lot of move speed. 496 if they want to get aggressive. They're baiting him pretty evenly right now, but nobody's coming in to take the bait right now from the side of Fnatic.
They're all backing out. Well, everyone's missing. Why would you want to try and fight when everyone's missing? They know they're not farming up the Ancients because this Sentry Ward, which Fnatic have placed, actually scouts out the fact the Ancients are being blocked because of it. So no one from Newbee is flagging there. They just draw a line to go down middle.
Might be a little bit frustrated with how their lead has kind of gradually slipped away. It was never very massive, but the amount of map control that they had at one point felt really significant. It felt like the team fights were going squarely their way, but Roshan's up. Newbee's going to be aware of this now.
Oh, the Observer Ward. That Sentry is just out of range. So the Obs will remain here. Fnatic will have good vision during the fight. And in fact, they just start pressuring the mid. They don't want Newbee to think they can just take Roshan without losing something of value. And in fact, yeah, here comes the TP's back. In fact, that TP started up from Hal and he cancelled it. So he's going to walk back up, looking towards the Ancients, which they realize are just not there.
Yeah, Newbee's going to go for this top. But it might be too late, as the issue right now is that the Roshan is going to take them far too long. They don't have any natural damage dealers.
DJ. Quick blink away. This is another tower, though, which actually is kept out of deny range. Is actually Fnatic TPing down to try and go for Roshan themselves?
Yeah, I mean, they just forced a bunch of heroes over. It could be the maneuver that they go for next.
It's still a bit risky to do that. Like, are they in a position where they need to get Roshan to get a grip back on this game?
I would say so. You don't want to be able to give it up to Hao, who's starting to build up quite the net worth bankroll. Like, he's #1 in the game right now. He's finally surpassed Black, and he's doing it by a pretty sizable margin now. And Moo's starting to catch up too. Like, he's not the highest damage dealer right now, but the BKB and the Blink Dagger make him a fairly significant threat to the side of Fnatic, and this game has just become completely passive out in favor of Newbee right now.
Radiant structures are fortified.
At least Newbee's not actually being fully passive. How wants to pressure this middle lane? They actually surge up on the gyrocopter, tricking the Tranquils that use this Alpha Wolf just to tank the tower. But Fnatic, they're smoking into the pit. Now sentries are down from Newbee, from Fnatic. They understand that sentry's down, but with a Vortex, they jump in. Black, the Echo Sam will control him. DJ in the corner. They've already lost Black.
These are both
DJ,
their cores. He doesn't have
trying to blink out. He can't do it. He just backing back in again, and DJ will actually get killed off by Roshan inside the pit. Newbee will be able to grab that Aegis model on the back of power, as you said, increasing the safety of this gyrocopter's farm.
I mean, at this point,
why?
oh, he's gonna go for it.
Wow.
He's gonna come right in. Ohio's gonna throw his life away now too. That's another hero down. Icing on the cake for Newbee, who get their main objective in that Roshan. Mop up some kills to go with it. All of a sudden, Moo's got 2,200 gold, and the expression on your face is just, what's going on? I'm looking over your hands. You've got the not like this pose.
Radiant's middle tower.
You know what this reminds me of? Moments that IG gave me during the qualifier, where you just don't understand why things are happening this way. Like Fnatic, you understand that Newbee is looking to get aggressive. They're posturing in the middle lane, like they want to try and take a fight, and then you go in with two heroes into a clustered area, which Newbee then read perfectly. They understand that these cores are missing. Smoke or no smoke, or ward or no ward, it doesn't matter. You understand that Fnatic aren't fighting you. Where do they go to next?
Under attack.
There is a really significant pickup, though, on the side of Fnatic that we should talk about. Is that Mushi has gone all in. There's no other items aside from Arcane Boots. He's got this Aghanim Scepter. This is going to play a fairly significant role if he can get it off before Mu can get his BKB off. Because then you can finally burn his mana, take him out of the fight. Even if he posts BKBs, Toby, a lot of his effectiveness is going to go away. And I'm not quite certain that Newbee know about this pickup. Mushi hasn't shown himself quite yet.
He actually sacrificed his other items to get this, because he was thinking back Glimmer at that point.
Yeah, and YOLO for the big plays.
It's
big fan.
But it's Fnatic getting pushed back into this position once again. Where it's like, okay, we fight from our tier 3 towers. We fight from inside of the base. They'll probably hold once, but they'll sacrifice a whole bunch of buybacks to do so. And their split push in this game really isn't as strong. Maybe if Black picks up some BTs, but right now he's just trying to complete up his BKB so he can stand during these fights. DJ is still trying to complete up a Monkey King bar. Either that or it's a Daedalus to try and find quick picks.
Yeah, the lead was never as big as we thought it was. It was almost up to 5k at one point.
It's as big as I think it is now.
Yeah,
7.5k going the way of Newbee for net worth.
20 minutes into the game, they had that pretty decent lead on the side of Fnatic, and they were heading in the right direction for a victory, but with that Aegis on the other side and the type of cores that Newbee have, this is just going to get more and more rough. The Earthshaker finally has his levels. The Aghanim Scepter's very nearly completed on Shizbug too.
Black is almost running like bodyguard style. He was sitting just behind DJ, scouting out if Newbee were moving over, saw them pinged out instantly. DJ TPs himself down the bottom lane, and Black retreats back out. If he also found like a roaming Earthshaker or Ancient Apparition, he would have just gone out on them. Try and find the quick pick and just get the hell out of there. With this Ancient Apparition now, like with this Mud Golem stack, when he takes it, like he's 8 gold away from having his Aghanims. This is even more crippling to Fnatic if they get hit. They have to really rely on just out-positioning Newbee's attack.
Yeah.
Getting away from cooldown, getting away from the Ice Blast, getting away from the Echo Slam or the control that Tule offers through this Darkseer Blink vacuum. And in fact, Blink, now with the Ice Blast, well, you ain't getting away from Jack Black. as he's now down the sideline for a full minute. Mushi able to glimpse back the attack, but look down at bottom lane.
Blink in 1 second.
He's going to jump and attack, but okay. Well, Net, he's in the tree line. Bottom lane, however, DJ's going to force the rotation back. Too late the first man to come in. Net's being attacked, and maybe with some Nightmare, he can buy a little bit of space. Can't do it in time, however. He'll drop, and Hao is, in fact, attacking up on the top. DJ blinks himself away to safety. And they'll have to give up on this chase, but can Hal even be punished? Ohio is here with the Blink Dagger. He'll jump forward for the Walrus Punch, but Hal, with the Shackle Shot as well. The Ice Shards come up, but there's no damage forward. Banana sitting back a little bit further. No way to attack, and Moo will rotate over. They pop this top racks, and they're gonna get it.
They've still got the Dragon Form available. The BKB still up on Hal with the Aegis. And this is just going to be a free Rax Toby without either the Invoker or the Bane up. And it looks like they're trying to catch collateral right now, but just gonna BKB and get out.
That's down now to 6 seconds for Hal. It's not the greatest thing in the world, but when you take a top Rax, you know you're working towards the end anyway.
Yeah, a BKB, this is a really crucial item completed on Black. He completely forgoes the buyback, understands that Newbee needs time to just reset. And without the BKB, he was just going to die in 2 hits anyways. Like, if Moo gets a stun on him, you know for a fact that AA ultimate is just centered right on top of him.
At least Fnatic outlast the Aegis the Immortal. But that's clutching at straws for the upside for them. This advantage has just disappeared. Now 14,000 the way of Newbee. 7.5k for the experience. It just keeps adding up. Even Ancient Apparition. Like, he's looking at his next item. It's a Ghost Scepter coming in for the AA. So Wind Ranger or Invoker. Like, an Orchid attack from the Invoker still can't get the kill over on this AA.
Alright, so if I'm looking at Fnatic right now, best opportunity, Mushi hits a huge Static Storm before BKBs.
Yep.
And then you Tornado EMP, drop a meatball?
I think you almost have to start the other way around, where the Tornado is the setup.
But if the Tornado lands, doesn't Moo just BKB and blink forward and catch him? I don't know. It's difficult. Because whoever gets
Mushi can't get in position. That's the major problem.
Yeah, the problem right now, the biggest problem is that you have to initiate if you're Fnatic. And you notice that they're the ones getting aggressive right now. This is the right idea. I think they have to actually be the ones to start the jump. Because if they just get counter-initiated on, same thing always seems to happen.
Here they go. Surge forward. Moo starts over on Black. The support's right behind him.
Oh,
DJ
no.
Shackle keeps the Earthshaker out at least. Black BKB. It doesn't protect him enough. TJ's in a world of hurt. His Hal just goes ham. Mushi is at least able to TP himself out. But you've lost your Invoker. You've lost your Wind Ranger.
No
and
buybacks.
Once again, Newbee. They're staring down the barrel of taking out an easy Rax with no way for Fnatic to defend at the tier 3 towers.
There's 20 seconds left for the Invoker to have his buyback, luckily, but the Wind Ranger is nowhere close unless they somehow manage to take a tower and a half.
They have fortification, so Net's got ways to delay him. Like, you enfeeble up on Hal. Okay. Buyback comes out from Black.
I think
tier 3
Newbee
tower's already gone.
There's no BKB up.
Blink, Walrus Punch, Snowball, Moo. He's at least controlled, so Moo's in a world of hurt at the moment. He should end up going down. Black attacks him from range, so yep, you will actually have that DK down for the count, but Net, well, he's got enough stick charge to keep himself alive, but how? He can't get close enough just yet. Where do you even want to go from here? He just wants to take the Rax, a fresh Skadi, out from the Gyrocopter, all the life in the world. They at least get rid of the Alpha Wolf, but how? Okay, goodbye homing missile as well. While you're dealing with this, Hal's taking out your building. He hasn't finished the job yet. In fact, now with Fiend's Grip, they're just going to let it rip over on Hal. That vac, actually the vac's not ready yet. He triggers up the Glimmer Cape instead of actually cancelling up the Fiend's Grip that way, but now allows Ohio to jump himself forward. They find one. They're going to catch out two. And Newbee, they actually keep the melee Rax alive. The Tornado flies up. They're going to catch out the Ancient Apparition, the Echo Slam from Banana. It's on top of Black. They're able to turn around. Banana as well as Jistbug forward with a Shackle. It's over on Banana with a Brain Tap to get through him very, very quickly. Jistbug's Ghost will protect him. Ohio snowballs up. He'll run back in to protect him from the cold feet. And it's a triple kill for DJ. The Ancient Apparition will still shatter the Tuskar, but Newbee lose everything. And they don't take out that mid-Rax. It will regenerate because they went for the melee.
But at what cost, Toby? It costs a lot of different buybacks on your side. Luckily, DJ didn't have to, and now he's got 2,700 gold. So you're starting to see a glimmer of life once again for Team Fnatic. A little bit too greedy for Newbee. It was just Hao and the two supports backing him up. Without Moo there, you weren't really going to be able to take that very quickly. You need both of those range carries to be able to do it. And now that Roshan's up, DJ's going to go for this immediately.
Is he fast enough? With Roshan getting these batches in the middle of focus fire, he may not have enough damage to do this.
Is Moo going to be able to sense this out?
He's coming. He's just around the neighborhood, and DJ's in a
He's actually
position.
just stacking. This is such a close engagement, but if
don't
DJ
know.
can get this Roshan, this will turn around so much for Team Fnatic. You have to go for this. You don't want to be sent to the lower bracket.
He's almost done. He's going to get the cheese as well, so he can... Okay, he's actually dropping the magic wand, so he can grab both cheese as well as Aegis. And Roshan, no more bashes for him. And there it is. He'll actually grab it and get back out.
This is going to make their next defense so huge. This is going to make Newbee think twice before they just go up that hill.
I'm thinking twice at this point. There's also the solo Roshan for the Wind Ranger. He's got 3.5k gold on this Wind Ranger. Can give the cheese over. Probably going to give it over to Black at this point.
I don't even know if it matters, honestly. When he gets hit by everything, he dies real quick.
True. Well, maybe then, like, I'm still looking at DJ to get something bigger. Like, you got Nagadums and Monkey King Bar. You're definitely seeing the damage. I mentioned previously, like, he likes to go for these glass cannon style builds and rely on the rest of his teammates to do the work. But you still need to get something like this Assault Courage. You need something this defensive in nature. Which just doesn't exist right now.
Yeah. Completely agree. Moo is starting to beef up even more, though. He's got that Reaver.
Okay, so then the bigger question is, okay, you want to get a defensive nature, sure. But do you itemize to survive, or do you itemize to win?
I think itemizing to survive for him is winning at this phase. Like, part of what ended up happening is that he didn't have the BKB up, and he just doesn't have the raw HP to be able to survive a lot of Fnatic's burst damage. But with Hao having 2500 HP, he's got a 5-second BKB up. With that MKB, he does tear through DJ quite quickly. All they really need to do is set up a fight where the Disruptor isn't able to do anything. And
wow, Fnatic
credit
are
to
actually
Newbee.
doing this? The Wind Range is not here yet. One range-dominated creep.
Is this really how you want to take this fight right now?
I don't know, but they're gonna do it anyway. They punch in. How can this with the Echo Slam? Fnatic get torn apart again. Black is retreating out of here. One deafening blast will push
he
him
doesn't
out.
have a BKB
He
or
needs
blink.
time. He's got Ghost Walk. That movement speed. Now the blink's off cooldown from Moo. He jumps forward. They got the Vish. They're Black's in a... Oh, he's down. That could be the game right there. You initiate with 4 heroes searching for Newbee. Just one roaming hero. They don't find it. They find the entire Newbee lineup, and now they will suffer the consequences.
Bottom barracks.
That was a fight, Toby, where you anticipate running into Newbee as 5, and that's a game-changing fight. Like, you have to realize you only take that fight if you're certain you're going to win, but your Wind Ranger's nowhere in sight. No travels on her. She's going to go for the split, but this is going to mean guaranteed Mega Rax as the Invoker isn't quite up yet. DJ is doing whatever he can to force them back, but Newbee completely undeterred.
Why would Newbee care? You lose 1 Rax, you gain Megas. Newbee are looking to take it out 2-0 against Fnatic right now. The Ice Blast will slow down DJ. In fact, he can't even blink away because of this. Moo's going to jump forward, and DJ, if he can get a little bit more damage here, Moo, with the help of Banana, they trigger the Aegis to the Immortal. That Blink Dagger instantly has to work. Moo, DJ actually blinks himself up into the Dire base. He's got himself a TP scroll. He's going to use it inside the tree line. Power shots to go in deeper, away from any kind of fissure or control. Going in so deep, and they won't be able to reach him in time. TP's back to base. But Fnatic, they're just fighting for the sake of all blind hope.
Yeah, there's nothing that you have to risk anymore if you're on the side of Newbee. I've seen a Mega Creep come back before, as recently as 3 months ago, but that was an Alliance squad that had the perfect lineup to do it. I think Newbee is a lot more disciplined than NIP was in that game. They're going to wait things out, make sure that they have all the buybacks in the world, that there's absolutely no chance of a reversal. And Black might even run into Hao right now.
Wait, can you see him? Yeah, he can see him just on the edge.
Yeah, he's got the vision of it right now, but...
Especially as Hao walks out,
now.
but yeah, he gets cold feet. And in fact, Black moves himself forward, triggers the BKB, but that
look how fast!
Oh my! Black thought he had something, but he had nothing. With a Walrus punch, supporters finally arrived. With the Disruptor already down, maybe they can do more. The double shackle is there, Tule and Moo locked together, but then maybe Ohio, he can't punch fast enough. They've lost 4, and really, they've lost the game. The Megas are attacking past the tier 4 towers. We're taking out the remaining one for that one. And there's just no way DJ solo can repel this. He can at least get a nice little kill over on Banana, but GG is the call. DJ will die in the mid, and Newbee will take it out 2-0. Fnatic bottoming their group here on day one at the Frankfurt Major.
I mean, you just have to feel for DJ in that situation. He does his best at that point to try to hold things pretty much 1v5 continuously. Fnatic, I mean, yes, they're better players than I am, but they had to have known if they're going to go for that smoke up, you're not going to run into 1 or 2 heroes at that point. Like, Newbee at 50 or however long, 45 minutes into the game, they're going to be assembled